What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the 31st episode of our podcast, Don't Stop Beleafing, where we talk all about the Leafs all the time to anyone who will listen. I'm your host, Nolan Drinkwalter, and this is my co-host, king of sitting in the right position during a Leafs game, Jack Prince. Jackie, how's it going, buddy?
Fun fact, for the last 2 games, I haven't sat in that position at all.
That was going to be my first question to you. So
that
makes me less nervous now about the games.
I know, same. We still have that in our back pocket.
We still got that move. We still got ace up our sleeve, bro.
No, I've been doing stuff on my laptop during the games because I have to work. And so doing extra work always. And so because I was doing that, I haven't been in my spot.
I know. Game 3, I was at work. I'm trying to plug my ears so nobody would tell me so I go home and watch it. And then when I got home to watch it, it goes in overtime. Like, this is so late now. It's so late at night. I need to go to bed.
Yeah. Well, I think, was that the day I texted you and then you just didn't respond? So I just 100%. Didn't text you the rest of the game?
Yes, that's the game.
Okay. Fair enough.
But yeah, so it was going to overtime. I look at how much time's left. It's an hour. And I'm like, this game is so long. It's already 11:30. I need to go to bed. And it ended terribly anyway, so.
Yeah.
Because the big story of the week, Leafs are tied 2-2 in the second round of playoffs, coming home for Game 5 against the Florida Panthers. Everybody's dooming right now because they lost 2 in a row. But do you know what this actually reminds me of? It reminds me of the Ottawa series. Mm-hmm. Just a game ahead of schedule. Yeah. So Leafs win 2, they won 3 against Ottawa, whatever. But the losses they had, first one in overtime, in a game where they kind of got outplayed, they still had that chance, they still tied it and brought it to overtime and looked deep. I mean, I thought they looked better than Florida in overtime. Just a bad bounce goes in.
Yeah.
Same as the overtime loss against Ottawa. Second game, they lay a kind of a stinker.
Yeah.
Where they look tired, they don't kind of show up, only Woll comes to play a game.
Yeah.
Kind of like the second one against Ottawa. So if it's playing out the same way it is, Game 5 is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Win or lose.
And kind of a mindset to think about too is before this series, if we said that we're going to split home and home with Florida and be 2-2 with Florida going into Game 5. Probably a lot of us would have been like, yeah, that sounds good.
I would have been like, we already did better than last year?
Yeah, and it's a 2-3 series now. I think a lot of us would have taken that going into this series.
And I think Game 5 is going to be a shit show.
Well, it's already setting up that way, eh?
But that's usually the most boring answer is the correct one. So both teams are going to come in, play a hard game where they don't actually try to go out of the way to do something stupid. Mm-hmm. But I think something stupid is going to happen.
Well, there's like Nylander's comments about Matthew Tkachuk basically like threatening to elbow him next game.
Is that so? Yeah. What I didn't hear any of that. I saw what happened at the end of the game, obviously. But
yeah, he's basically just like. To like Nylander. Nylander's like, good luck, buddy.
Yeah, like if you're threatening anyone on the Leafs, you're threatening the one guy who doesn't give a fuck.
The guy didn't give a shit. And he's like I'm excited. He says in the presser with just dead face, he's like, I'm excited for the next game.
Well, that's the thing. First of all, I'm pretty sure Tkachuk's injured. He can barely skate on the ice. And he doesn't fight anyone, even if he was healthy, because he's kind of a little...
Yeah, he only fights guys that are smaller than him.
Yeah, so it makes sense going after Nylander. And third, like, I don't know. He's always hides behind the refs. He turtles. Like, I don't see him as someone who's, unless it's a dirty, cheap shot, really. Like the one against Gensel, he did the series before.
Yeah, where the puck's gone 3 seconds before. The guy's not even looking and you cut into him.
Yeah, like you're in his blind spot the whole friggin' time.
Did you hear Florida's changing their name, though?
To what, Jack?
The Florida Elbowers.
What?
Just gonna have big elbows on their jersey.
Oh my gosh! So we will get into all that stuff about every hit that happened. So I think what I want to do this time, instead of going game by game, I want to do more because it's kind of been 4 games, so it's kind of I don't think it's to go through every game makes sense because like they're not all fresh.
Yeah,
I think it's more to go through the storylines of what has happened so far in this series, how each player is doing, and we will start at the beginning. Actually, first I want to finish this Matthew Tkachuk thing, because what happened was, what I saw or heard was when he was chirping about Nylander being next. In next game, he's going to get killed.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Nye stepping in and being like, well, I'm going to be on the ice too. So why don't you just go me? Like, he stepped in between. I'd be scared of that guy.
Guy's so jacked.
And after the White Cloud fight, where he threw
So
3 left hands and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And he's like 240 of muscle. No thanks.
No, yeah, no thanks. And Matthew Tkachuk would never go him because, again, he knew he'd probably get his ass kicked.
Oh, yeah. So to me, I think Game 5 is either going to go one of two directions. One, the shit starts early.
Mm-hmm.
The refs call it quick.
Mm-hmm.
They get a hold of the game. And there's a lot of penalties, a lot of offsetting minors, a lot of penalties in the beginning 10, 15 minutes of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, it settles down, and it's a tight, I want to say like a 2-1, 3-2 game.
Mm-hmm.
Or the opposite, where they don't call anything. It gets out of hand real quick from the refs, and people are going to get injured.
You think it will be a game of nothing, though, where like everyone's just all bark, no bite, and nobody actually does anything next game?
No,
Really?
I don't. Because I think at Tampa Bay, where Gensel lit up Barkov,
Mm-hmm.
and then he gets lit up the next game after that.
Was it Gensel that lit up Barkov?
Oh, sorry, Hagel. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hagel lit up Sasha Barkov.
Yeah.
And then next game, Ekblad shivs him in the face with his elbow.
Yeah.
So.
Totally clean.
Yeah, well, he actually got 2 games for it, which is the biggest surprise ever.
Yeah, surprised Florida got anything.
And right now, Ekblad is like my number 1 enemy.
Dude,
on Florida.
This guy's so dirty after
Oh my
whistles,
god, man.
like
His
grabbing
stick work.
guys and trying to shake them and face wash and stuff. Dude, the guy's brutal.
I wish I was big and strong and played for the Leafs. Cause I would just go in there. Like at the end of the third period when after that hit. Like, cause he jumps on top of Domi and starts feeding him.
Yep.
And I just want to be a big guy to go in there and just fucking face wash him and push him against the boards. But he's all roided up right now.
Yeah,
roid rage all over the ice.
Did we re-drug test him after the incident? Because he looks pretty angry.
He comes back just completely shredded after the 20 games. Well, I wasn't on anything, man.
What? Clean.
So first we'll talk about in game 1. Was it game 1 or game 2? No, game 2. Stolarz gets elbowed in the back of the head.
Yeah, game 2.
Was it game 2?
It was game 2. Yeah.
No, it was game 1. Because they were up 4-1, and then
it was game 2.
I don't think it was.
It was.
It was? Okay, sorry. So game 2, Stolarz gets elbowed in the back of the head from Bennett coming across the ice.
Mm-hmm.
Or cutting in front of the ice during a power play.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing really happens there. He goes down, but then 10 minutes later, he goes over to the bench, puking, and then he gets helped off the ice, stretchered to the hospital to make sure he's okay. Obviously, concussion. He's in concussion protocol.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing comes of the Bennett thing because, it was incidental. Oh, he got hit with a puck before. The amount of excuses that came out from not just Florida Panthers, from literally every news source you could think of.
Yeah.
That, it's not a dirty play. It wasn't a dirty play that concussed. It wasn't the punch to the head that concussed our player.
Yeah. It's the NHL like trying to put stories and plug stories. I don't know what's protecting the Florida Panthers right now, but somebody's looking out for them, and they're doing it with the refs. They're doing it with everybody.
Yeah, I don't get it. And not just that. They're like blaming a puck he got in the face earlier that game.
Yeah.
Off the helmet. I've seen that a million times in hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Not once has a player been concussed.
Never. It just rattles your cage a little bit.
So there was something saying that maybe it can make you more susceptible. Maybe that's true. Yeah. But if even that, there's still a punch to the back of the head that's going to give you concussion.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't get a penalty. He doesn't get kicked out of the game. He doesn't get a fine. He doesn't get a suspension or anything.
Nothing.
Total incidental. Even though Sam Bennett has concussed 3 players now in 3 straight years.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's not looked at. Like, he has to be the most dirty player that has never been suspended.
Yeah, he definitely is going down as that. And I just don't understand, like you said, how you can look at his track record and be like, okay, at a certain point, this guy's doing this on purpose. Because there's a trend of 3 years in a row now that this guy's injured somebody in the playoffs.
And 3's a pattern.
2 is a streak. 3 is a definitive.
It's a longer streak?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, did you see like what he even said afterwards? Like, oh, I text Stolarz saying sorry.
Oh, he's my boy.
And we're
I would
buddies.
never do that to him. Like,
Okay.
dude, shut up. As a hockey player, you don't take that route. I know that's a dangerous route as a hockey player.
Oh, we all know that. Yeah.
To cut that, there was nobody there. It's not like somebody was pushing him into Stolarz. He took that route through the crease. And then if you look at the top angle, he literally does throw out his elbow.
Oh, I know. I agree with you. Like,
It looks so. He's so good at doing things subtly that it makes it look nonchalant. Like even Marchand's thing last year, where he like hit Marchand in the face, that looked so subtle and clean when he did it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was dangerous.
Oh yeah, because Marchand was out the rest of the series.
Yeah.
And then the Panthers won.
And then same with like when he threw Matthew Nyes in the boards.
Oh yeah, slammed to the ice. Yeah.
Slammed into, like, that's not a hockey play. That's not a body check. No call. No nothing.
And when the kids, when it's a kid who's his first year in the NHL, and you're not gonna protect anybody like that.
First couple games.
Yeah. That's brutal. Like, I'm not saying, oh, it's a kid, give him extra, but like, you want he comes in here expecting to be protected, just like every other player in the NHL.
Yeah.
That's so dumb, man. It makes me so friggin' mad.
It's frustrating, man.
And like, even to build off of that, last game, Nylander, there was one play where he was 1-on-1 with the guy coming in, and he beats him wide and makes a hard cut to the net.
Yeah.
I don't see him running into Bob on that, and when the guy's on him right there.
Yes.
He could have easily done that. It would have looked incidental.
And if it was a Florida player, they would have.
100%.
The amount of times they've fallen on Woll since Stolar's injury is crazy.
Or push someone over him.
That's what I mean. Like two, 3 times a game, there's a guy on top of Woll.
Ugh. And like, the Leafs started to do that after, I think it was in the 3rd game. They were kind of, because they got 4 goals on him. They were all over it. They were all in Bob's kitchen. They were kind of doing the same thing a bit. Like, they weren't obviously injuring him, but they were like kind of in his kitchen, getting in his face, bumping him a bit, and like they were scoring goals off that. Mm-hmm. And when you're not getting called and this is working, why not keep fucking doing it?
Yeah,
that's what they're showing. Like, that's what they're showing everyone. If you want to win, you cheat, play dirty.
That's what last year, the same thing. It was the same garbage. And it's getting them all the way to the finals, and people are getting so pissed off because it's not hockey. It's unsportsmanlike bullshit, and it's petty shit between whistles.
And it's not even fun to watch. Like, even that Domi hit, I hate it.
I hate it too.
But like, I understand it.
100%. And
like, you can only be pushed so far.
The guys on the panel were like, oh, we like the hit. Like, no, I don't like the hit. I would rather see somebody get him clean next game, or get him, like, or grab a guy and punch him in the face. Like, old school shit, not this dirty for dirty BS.
Yeah, like Benoit's hit
beautiful.
On Reinhart behind the net.
Beautiful.
What a hit, man. Like, that's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
And he's been doing it all friggin' last 2 playoff rounds. And not like that, I feel like he's the epitome of a clean check, play hard, not too dirty. Like, not dirty.
Yeah. No.
Why can't you just play like that, guys?
Yeah. You can still be tough, but not be dirty as shit. But they're just dirty as shit. And the Leafs got to just skate away from it, or address Rebo and knock their brains, like grab somebody, take a suspension, and do that. I don't agree with that. But, you know, if you do want to go that way, that's the way you go.
Yeah, like, I hate people saying that too. Oh, put Reeves on the ice. His knees are shot. He can barely skate.
He'd be so bad in the game, you'd play short the whole game.
And he hasn't played in how long? Yeah. So what? He runs Bob
For
Eye for
sure.
an eye. Everybody, eye for an eye. Run the goalie. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's
It's
great
do you
hockey,
really want to
guys.
win that way?
Yeah. Well, actually,
yeah.
you could, but it's just I don't understand why everybody do whatever you can to win. I don't know. It just doesn't seem sporting. I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe I just don't have the competitive edge enough to think that way.
If Toronto plays the way they played in that first 2 games, especially the first period of the first game, that was the best period of hockey I've ever seen them play. If they play like that, they can win this series. They just got to stay away from the bullshit.
And then they did that the first 2 games.
And skate. And it's kind of funny because we can talk about the same discussion that we had in the Ottawa series about, like you said, not getting to nets, not being in this Bobrovsky's kitchen. Just like in that one Ottawa game, they weren't in front of the net. They weren't working hard to go to the dirty areas. They weren't winning puck battles anymore. They weren't fighting. And then they came back the next game and won.
And this is why I'm not worried.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying they're going to win this series, but I'm not worried about how this team's playing or can play.
No. And you know what's really coming in clutch too? The fact that we have home ice advantage.
Yeah.
Because it seems like a pretty good advantage right now in the series.
Yeah,
to have that. And it kind of makes me laugh at Florida. Oh, was tanking really worth it? Because, everyone's winning at home right now. And that would look so good on them if we won in Game 7 because we had home ice advantage.
And who picked Game 7 for the series to end for the Leafs?
I don't know. Who did that? Was it somebody
me.
that starts with or rhymes with Bolin, starts with an N?
No, Jack, it's me. No.
Oh, that's what they're saying. No.
But yeah, so I knew the series. I was hoping for a sweep. How fucking sick would that be? But I knew the series wasn't going to end after the 2 games. After it was up 2-0, I knew it wasn't going to be that quick of a series. I knew it was going to be the whole friggin' thing. Because these teams are, I think, real close to being just as good as each other.
Yeah, and also things don't work out well like that for the Leaf fans and Leafs teams. That would be too easy. That would be getting us off way too easy.
I was about to say, this team is the most dramatic team in the history of the world.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to do that to us? No.
They love the drama. They like to make fetch happen.
Yeah, and this series, I want to say, is the most dramatic of the 4. I think a close second, or probably maybe above it, Edmonton and Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Because that one's insane.
That one's wild, too.
And because Oilers can be down any game and still come back and win.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So this is one of the most dramatic series that I've seen in a long time, and it's toxic as hell too.
Yeah, but we knew it was going to be like that, and then this is like the finals almost. These teams are that good that either team could make it to the finals, and this is like the battle. This is like the Eastern Conference final.
Oh yeah, and I want the Leafs to win so bad, not just because I love the Leafs, but how everyone's picking Florida.
Yeah.
Being like, oh, Stanley Cup champions, oh, the way they play, it bugs me so much.
It's set up with Brad Marchand being on that team, slaying the beast, slaying that perfect beast of Florida and Boston almost at the same time.
Yeah. And that's the line that's killing us right now too, is that third line.
Dude, they're playing well.
Yeah, Lister-Ryan, Lundell, and Brad Marchand. It might be the best third line right now, I see.
It might be, but the good thing is we're going back home and we'll have last change, so hopefully we'll get some better matchups again. Because
I've noticed that Paul Maurice, the coach for Florida Panthers, has been going off the line 1-for-1 matchup in the lines. Barkov's not going against Matthews anymore.
Yeah.
They changed that up.
Yeah, Marchand's against that line now.
Because the Matthews line was actually dominating the Barkov line.
Yeah.
So he's able to make adjustments. And
he also took Kachuk off the first line.
I thought it was always Verhaeghe, Reinhart, and Barkov, no?
I'm pretty sure Kachuk was on that line.
Instead of Verhaeghe?
Yeah, they changed it last game.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 2 games ago.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't look good at all. He can barely move out there.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You can tell he's injured.
Yeah, 100%. The guy's not playing near what he's capable of.
Yeah. But Paul, I again, hate Paul Maurice, hate the Florida Panthers, but he is a good coach. He was able to make those adjustments for the games, coming back to Florida, being able to match up those lines perfectly, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't think Craig Berube is no slouch either. No offense to Keefe. I think he would have folded in the past because of his inexperience to someone like Paul Maurice. But I think Berube is going to be able to adjust properly with his lines.
Yeah. No, I agree. And, Maurice is a good coach. He's a player's coach too. I just don't like his tactics of playing that kind of hockey
No.
to win, but it's a whatever.
And being so whiny about it too.
Oh, I know. He makes
part.
his little comments after the game, like "Shut up, man."
Yeah.
But he knows that goes back to the NHL and goes back to the refs, and the refs hear it. So then they do
Colin
get their way.
Campbell, who is a big part of the league, his son is the assistant GM for Florida Panthers.
Yep.
That's cool.
It's brutal, dude. It's so I don't know how it works that way, but having Berube this playoffs is night and day. I like Keefe, but dude, what he's doing, the one game that Domi scored, I think it was game 2, when Domi scored, Lorenz passed it back to him.
Oh yeah. Great goal.
Unbelievable goal. It was the second period of the second game where things were getting absolutely chaotic. There was a stretch in the second period that was absolutely nuts. Bunch of penalties missed on both sides.
Oh yeah, okay.
And there was a commercial break. And Berube, apparently, when they came back, the announcer said Berube just tore a strep into the Leafs the whole time. Just saying, calm down, play our game, don't get caught up in that bullshit, and relax. And I think just kind of reminding them of the game plan, that steady hand, let's be calm, let's be cool, play our game, stick to our game plan. The very next shift, they go out there, they go down off the face-off, of a defensive zone face-off. Kachuk tried to get that bad angle shot. Domi picks it up. They go full at length of the ice, goal. And I think just knowing and being aware of what's happened in the game, and then getting the guys' heads back to what the goal is here, I think that's just veteran coaching.
I think he took a timeout in the first game too when Florida was coming back.
Yeah.
To calm everything down as well.
Yeah.
But I like his coaching style. But I am curious and intrigued of what adjustments he's going to make for this next game. Like, is there going to be line changes? I wouldn't do anything major. I think I might put McMahon on the second line, to be honest with you, to get him going.
You're not going to bring in Scratch and Score?
Who would you bring him in for? Yarncroke?
I know. I'm just saying.
Maybe? Like, if you're looking for goals, maybe?
Yeah, you take Yarncroke out and put him in.
Like, that's the only guy I would really take out.
Yeah.
Do you put Camp in? Probably not.
No.
And then and then maybe McMahon on the second line, I think, and to get him going, and to get more speed on that line. Because I think where you win this game is it's going to be the second line, because that first one's a wash if you match it up against Barkov. That second line with Nylander, JT, and whoever's with them is what's going to have to win the game.
Yeah.
And then you have the one line of Lawton, Lorentz, and Yarncroke, or whoever's there, to be the energy line. To get after the goals or after they score, to send them out and do something. Yeah, and shut them down. And then Domi's line just to create chaos.
Just somebody hit somebody.
Yeah, basically. And then maybe put Patra in that line, because he loves to hit now.
I don't mind that.
Then I'd be like,
Patches there.
When I put that line, I'd be like, release the hounds.
Yeah.
Go out there and hit something. Because that's one thing I wanted to talk about. I noticed in these games. So when Florida dumps the puck in, they're running our defensemen through the wall.
Yeah.
They're trying, So they finish every check, they hit everything. But when the Leafs are dumping it in, I've noticed Florida doing something so their defense don't get hit, is they're throwing picks with their last forward back. And he will run interference on a guy coming in trying to get the puck, so they can't finish that check.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed the checking went down because in the first 2 games, Toronto hit, and they hit throughout the whole game. And that's something I've never seen from a Toronto team, is continuing to hit throughout the game. Like, I've seen Toronto teams in the Matthews era that come out and hit at the start of the game, but it's not in their DNA to keep hitting throughout the game, so then they just get soft and go back to it. Whereas the first 2 games, they hit the entire game. Everyone was finishing checks throughout the entire game, and I loved it. And I've never seen that from a Leafs team in the Matthews era, so that was exciting. And then I just haven't seen as many the last 2 games.
Yeah, because it's a lot
of... So that's interesting that you picked that out, because that might be one of the reasons why they just can't get to them.
Yeah, like it's bordering like you can't really call that a penalty. I get
Dude, it's
that.
so hard to call these interference, especially
Yeah,
in the playoffs.
yeah,
Like these,
and it's not really touching him, and it's not really in like you know what I mean. It's like
yeah. And then if you call it, that's a very weak
bad
call for the
precedent too.
playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, so
smart
I've
to take
noticed that, and
advantage of
then
that, but the Leafs should start doing it too.
oh, that's what I was thinking. That's what I would be saying as well. And then they get the puck off pretty quick, so you can't really finish the check too late
Hmm.
either. So that's yeah. So I just noticed that. Um, I want to get into the other hits I saw from Florida before we go to the Domi hit. I want to talk about the other hits that happened in this that are barely
Hmm.
even getting attention. Marner getting elbowed in the head by Mikkola.
Yep.
How wild is that? There's not even a call for that.
Yeah, and that not only that, the Mikolai guy had a bad hit in the series against Tampa, where the guy's on his knees and he goes
Oh,
into him,
and he crunched him into the
crunch
boards.
his head against the
Oh,
boards, and there wasn't even a fine or suspension or anything for that.
no,
Like the
wasn't even
player's
talked about.
defenseless on his knees, and he goes right at his head,
Yeah,
and you
friggin' like
literally hear the guy go ah as his head crunches like this against the boards.
yeah. Why would you call it? I'm pretty sure Kadri got like 3 games for doing the same thing in the
Like
playoffs.
unbelievable. And so, just I guess Mikkola, this guy's just got a free pass, just like Bennett for
Yeah, he's
everything
got
he
the Bennett
does.
pass.
And like it goes back to the Ottawa series, like throwing an elbow zoo on
Tavares.
Tavares. You know, like how are these flying elbows not getting called?
Yeah, like player safety. Yeah, okay, guys, that's what you really want.
Like
So and then
back in the day, if you threw a flying elbow, you got suspended. Like you remember when Domi was it that like threw an elbow on Pekka?
oh yeah, I think that was like 2000. In the play, are you talking about the playoffs?
Yeah,
Yes, and like it basically won the series for the Leafs.
yeah,
It was wild
yeah. It was like not even during gameplay. It was like between whistles.
against Michael. Was it Pekka or Yashin?
Pekka,
Was it Pekka? Okay.
Pekka, just absolutely like brutalized his face with an elbow.
And how many games did he get?
I think he got a fair bit, but I don't know. Like these are bad elbows too. They're not that bad, but they're bad.
No, they're bad. Ekblad elbowing Wall the next game.
Dude, the intent is with their elbow, they're going for the guy's heads. So like intent alone on those plays is bad.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, but he was just bracing himself. What, with his full elbow?
What,
To a
Marner skating
face?
the other way?
No, I'm talking about the one on Wall.
Oh,
Oh, are you talking about the Zub one still?
no, I'm talking about the one Mikola on
On
Marner.
Marner. Yeah,
Like
on the
Marner's
back of the
trying to get
head.
away, and he like
Yeah.
reaches out to try and catch his head.
Yeah, yet no call. But okay, I can even understand no call being on the ice. Maybe you miss it. It's something out of the view. But
Makeup call somewhere.
not even a makeup call. DOPS, the Department of Player Safety. You have the video. You can fucking see it.
Yeah, the intent is there, and he still connects.
Yeah,
That should be a game.
it's wild. So yeah, and then Ekblad's elbow to Wall in the first full game for Wall.
Yeah.
Tries to reach for a puck, comes down, and just runs into a goalie.
Yep.
How? How is that legal?
Dude, there's too many frustrating plays this series that just make me want to go through the screen.
I know. It's brutal. I knew the refing was going to be bad this series, and I was going to hate this team. But it makes me so mad.
It's just crazy that they keep getting away with it.
They just can't keep getting away with it. And then to Chuck trying to knee Marner at the end of the game.
Yeah.
What hockey play is this?
Yeah, and
What
then
hockey play is
cross-checks
this?
him after.
Yeah, in the back.
Yeah, like, oh yeah.
Tell me
That's
how any
fine.
of this is okay. Like Marner didn't initiate anything. Tell me
No.
how this is anything.
Game's over. Not a hockey play. Guy tries to slew foot his knees, and then Marner gets out of the way, and then he goes up and cross-checks him. So I guess you can just do free shots after the game.
Oh, but when Domi does it at the end of a game, everybody's up in arms.
Do you notice that there was no
"Oh,
media attention about the Matthews Kachuk going after Marner? There was like
That's
nothing
why
on it.
you have to play. Marner should have let him hit him and then just play dead.
Yeah.
Just like the Florida does when they get hit.
Yep.
It is brutal. Yeah, so Domi hits at the end of the game. What does the Department of Safety say? They say, oh, if this was earlier on in the game, it could only be a 2-minute penalty. Because it was at the end of the game, we know what the intent was, and then we're going to look into this. How fucking wild is that?
Yeah. You go to just a fine, but still.
I've seen in the Ottawa series, I've seen in plenty of other series, when a team is down by a lot, and even analysts will say this, teams go out to get their pound of flesh.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me how this one is any different from any other series or any other game that's been where a blowout's been happening or a loss has been happening where the other team comes out trying to hurt someone.
Yep. And it's Toronto, so there's more media attention. That's why.
It is ridiculous, man. It makes, like, talking about it now, I mean, it's getting so fucking worked up about it.
Yeah, no, same.
So, and then, what I really want to talk about with Domi's hit is I don't agree with it at all. No. I think it's a terrible hit. It doesn't belong in this game. And obviously it doesn't. But I understand why he did it.
Mm-hmm.
You can only get pushed so many fucking times before you explode.
Yeah.
Or before you want to even the playing field.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, out of everything we've talked about, all these hits, he's the only one to get any supplementary discipline.
Yep.
How fair
not
is
even
that?
as outrageous as the other ones.
And we can complain and we can say all this stuff, but it's never going to change. It sucks.
Yeah. So the best way is just beat them in the series, and laugh at them at the end. And that's the only way to do it. And we have to play more disciplined hockey. We can't start a game with 4 penalties.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that.
It just kills us. So hopefully they've got it out of their system and they play a little bit more disciplined hockey, and hopefully our power play can get going.
Yes, it needs to. And might as well bring up the power play PK right now. Power play is 1 for, I think, 8. Maybe more than that now. That was after game 3. They
Probably less than that now because we haven't had a power play goal.
We have a power play goal against Florida. I think we have 2.
Yeah, not like of all the penalties.
So the power play is scored a couple goals. One was Pacioretty, the other was, I want to say, JT in the slot with the tip. Both tips, actually. But what I really want to talk about is the PK from the Florida Panthers, because I'm going to give them their flowers. It is one of the best PKs I've seen.
It's aggressive.
It is so aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
And Toronto's not fast enough. They like to slow things down when they come into a zone on the power play. That's their specialty. But now they're rushed to make all their plays. And that's where they, make mistakes and screw up. Because in Ottawa, they were winning faceoffs. They were scoring 8 seconds in. They need to get back to doing stuff like that, I think.
Yeah, they're getting more pucks on net like right away. They're not as hesitant to get the pucks to the net, which I like. I think they need to, on those aggressive power plays, you need to be able to have support guys to pass it around more, because eventually you can't play an aggressive penalty kill like that without getting tired real fast.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think you need smaller. I think it's smaller passes.
It's smaller passes. So just having other guys go to the area to support for smaller passes, and then just keep working and stretch a triangle within that guy. Yeah. Like that's what you got to do. You can't stay as wide spread out, or you do get as wide spread out, but you have to be able to rim it all the way across to the other side. So you let them come towards you and then you rim it.
And I think they need to be less stat. I think they need more movement in this power play.
Definitely.
Because that'll get them moving and get them out of position.
Yeah, that's when they were doing really well on the power play, was when they were moving around, looking dynamic, making fast passes, making quick decisions. They've kind of got away from that. They're trying to get back to just holding and looking for something to develop, but nobody's moving, so nothing is going to develop.
Yes, I noticed that too. And always their kryptonite, the breaking into the zone. Oh my God. Their zone entries are so fucking bad.
It's so bad, dude.
So, that's why I think winning the face, they've been stellar on faceoffs. Mm-hmm. I think they're 65% to Florida's 35% in this series, which is insane numbers. Mm-hmm. And that's how they beat Ottawa and got all those power play goals. Won the faceoff, made a quick play, scored a goal.
Yeah.
So it becomes a big thing in these games when you're on a power play to win that face-off off the bat, or win any offensive face-off.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, and then the PK actually I think is doing pretty well. They're 1 for 6 last game. They killed the 3 straight penalties basically.
Mm-hmm.
But how many penalties are you going to get before they score, right?
Yeah,
But yeah, so I think that's actually doing a stellar job, the penalty kill that we have right now.
I think they've been great too as well. Getting in the shooting lanes, active sticks, moving around, being aggressive when they need to, and picking their spots. Yeah, I think they're doing a great job. And then also holding on to the puck sometimes. Like I thought they've done a great job of when they get it, instead of just shooting it right away, having some patience, holding on to it, making a few passes, and then shooting it down.
No, yeah, so I'm fine with PK. Power play needs to be better. And that starts with your star players, which you might as well get into. Matthews and Marner, who are first-line guys. I think they were decent in the first 2 games. Let's just get this out of the way. Their defense is amazing. They're great defensive players, but that's not what you get paid the big bucks for.
Yes.
You need to be on both sides of the puck.
Yeah.
If you're getting $14 million, you need to be the best defensive player on the ice and the best offensive player. There's no doubt about it.
Look at Mikko Rantanen right now. Guy's good defensive, and he's a beast right now.
He's actually breaking a lot of records, which is insane.
It's crazy.
Or just making records up. I don't even know.
And you know what? I'll be the first to admit I thought this guy was overrated. When people were like, oh, we're giving up all these draft picks, I thought he was just a product of McKinnon.
I think Colorado thought the same thing.
And now he's really proven me wrong, and all. I guess.
Do you think the GM of Colorado gets fired now?
I don't know, man. Like during the regular season, that trade looks so good. Like Nietzsche's was flying up and down the wing with McKinnon. They were doing so well.
But what about now?
Now that you're lost a playoff series due to that guy.
Yeah.
He put the dagger in you.
Apparently he wanted to get traded to Dallas for the reason of wanting to play Colorado in the playoffs.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I love that mentality. That's like Kobe Bryant mentality, Michael Jordan mentality.
I took it personally.
Took that personally.
Oh, it's wild. So Matthews and Marner, I don't think their offense is up to snuff right now.
No.
They are, I thought last game where, I don't know what was wrong with this team. They had nobody played good, really, other than Woll. And we'll get into Woll and how his last game was, but like Marner's defense last game was amazing. He made some key plays where he actually blocked a shot that was going into an open net. But his offense is nothing. Like they would look timid in the offensive zone, like he didn't want to get hit.
Yeah.
I understand maybe after the elbow. And then Matthews is throwing light checks. He's not even full force hitting people. But maybe his big thing is the takeaways, because he's really good at takeaways. I'll give him that too. And board battles. But he wasn't winning a lot last night. So I don't know. Like they both just looked lost almost in the offensive zone.
But Matthews is probably one of the best goal scorers of our era. And we need that guy scoring. I don't care. He used to be able to find ways, whether it's tips, rebounds. Like he'd always find a way to score.
Yeah.
He's got to find a way to score. We have this guy to score. He's playing great defensively. Great game, whatever. But this guy, like even during the regular season when he was like, I'm still sure he's injured, but even during the regular season, he still almost got 40 goals.
Yeah, he was on pace.
And if you have a 40 goal scorer on your team, you expect them to score in playoffs more than what he is.
Agreed. So did you know, fun fact, he is leading the playoffs in missing the net shots. Shots that miss the net.
Really?
Yeah. It's in the 20s.
It drives me insane when they miss the net.
I know.
Especially off good scoring opportunities.
Yeah, because there's like that one time Nyes went in the corner, smashed Jones with a big hit.
Oh, I know.
Gets it to Matthews in the slot, who is wide open with nobody within 5 feet.
Over the net, man, and it just ripped over the net. God, that would have been so nice if he scored that.
That would have put a big exclamation point on that game.
Yeah. Nyes' big hit was so good, and then, just got the puck, dished it right to Matthews.
Yeah, so they need to be better, and I'm not saying they won't be better, because I actually think that this next game is going to be like the game after they lost in Ottawa, where everybody was down on them and saying, oh, this is the same old core four. And what they do next game? everyone had points and goals.
Yeah, and I think Willie has a big game too.
Do you think Willie's going to have a big game?
I think Willie's going to have a big game.
I think because he got called out by Tkachuk. I think he's going to have a big game. He's going to be pissed. And he's actually going to try, and I'm going to love to see it. So speaking of Nylander, let's go through the big playoff performances that I like. So right now, leading in goals for the Leafs, Nylander with 6. Knies and JT are tied at 5. And Riley comes up with 4 goals. So it's nice that I know Marner and Matthews aren't scoring all the goals, but like these guys are coming up big. And it's nice to see Riley, playoff Riley coming out and scoring all his goals. He looks good most games. And sometimes, I know his defensive game is a little, because that one goal that Barkov scored the other night, so many pucks went off him and in. But yeah,
he's trying.
Yeah, I know.
But the defensive production this offseason's been, they're actually leading the league at one point in most points by the defensive core.
It's crazy how it switches. Like how it's actually a different season altogether.
Mm-hmm.
It's and they've been playing well. I think the defensive core the defense is not the problem.
No,
they've been playing real well.
Honestly, too, like that game that they lost, the boys have to dig in. Like Nylander, Tavares, they have to find some sort of inner strength to push through that shift.
JT and Nylander, they have to show up. They have to dig in.
Yeah, on a long shift like that in the playoffs, you have to just find some inner strength to just give a little bit more of a last effort and dive for a puck and just try to get the puck out.
And see small mistakes that are getting capitalized. Not even small, big mistakes that are getting capitalized on.
Yeah.
And that's what loses you games. The team that wins is the team that makes the least mistakes, right?
Yeah.
And that's and then like Woll played so well last game. Like it's hard to give up a performance like that and lose the game.
I was really hoping we could steal it for him, especially when we had it at 1 goal for the longest. I'm like, just get one in the third here, and then we go to overtime and steal this game. And then stupid
it should have been
Sam
5-0.
scores all fucking people.
I know. Off a bad play by Nylander.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that, it happens. Knies, I do want to talk about Knies. He has been a beast these playoffs.
He's been our best player.
I think so. Him
Other than
and
some of the defensemen, he's been our best forward.
Him and Tanev.
Yeah.
Basically. And I think in Patches actually has been playing very well too.
Dude, and the Matthew Knies went the other. He just keeps getting more confident. Like got it, did like a spinorama pass to Matthews. If only Matthews finished that.
Oh, I know. It would have been beautiful. There was one thing I want to talk about with the refs kind of being on our side. So Rodriguez gets hit from behind by Scott Lawton in one of the games and gets an embellishment call.
I don't know how that was embellishment. That was pretty good hit from behind.
But the only reason I think it's embellishment is because the guy leaves the ice, goes down the tunnel. As soon as he comes back. Or as soon as he hears what the calls are, he's back on the ice.
Yeah.
So was it a dive?
I don't know. His stick went flying.
So yeah, maybe... and like he got shot in the head.
Yeah, so maybe that's it. I don't know.
And then next game, he gets lit up by OEL. Interference call, 100%. Not a clean hit. Well, it was a clean hit if he had the puck. But he also goes down there like he was shot. He was grabbing his face. He got hit in the shoulder. But he actually didn't come back that game. So maybe that one injured him. Or is he just playing the long game?
Maybe it's
so this player really bugs me. Because I feel like he's just... they feel like they're diving all over the place. There's one penalty against Tkachuk in front of the net where OEL cross-checks him in the shoulder and Tkachuk throws his head back and starts grabbing his face like he's bleeding.
Yeah.
Call.
Yeah, it's annoying because they're soft and they're like soccer players that way. And yet they'll do dirty shit.
And call it hockey plays.
Yeah.
It is baffling, man.
Yeah. It's like the opposite of Canada hockey.
Oh, yeah, I know. We fight through the pain, we'll play.
Where what we grew up with, it's the opposite.
I know, like your dad always said, if you can make it to the bench, get off. If you can get up, get up.
Well, his whole thing was like, if you're not good enough to get off the ice on your own account, you're not playing the rest of the period at least.
And I remember that. I remember always trying to stand up. Man, I'm getting
and
off
like
the
he
ice.
says that about the NHL players too. Like if you don't have enough to get off the ice, you shouldn't be on in the rest of the period, at least.
But I think it's the way Paul Maurice coaches them.
Yeah.
To do this stuff. Like, I don't know how else it would be. They didn't. I don't remember them doing it before Paul Maurice was there.
No.
Like, it's crazy. And the last thing I want to talk about, the X factor for these last 3 games, guys who need to step up on this team. We already went through Matthews and Marner. For me, it's Bobby McMahon. He was a 20-goal scorer in the season. When he is on the hot streak, he looks so good. And I think, and he's a big body, and he's made for the playoffs. So for me, he's the one that needs to step up.
Same one you called out last time, and then he came up big in Game 6.
Well, he's got to do it again. Who are you calling out?
We shall see.
We'll see who you're calling out.
I think Domi needs to step up as far as like just being more relevant when he's on the ice. I just don't notice him during the game.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
You know who I really have been happy with this whole season? Or this whole postseason? Lawton.
Same.
Dude, love how the guy plays, and I love how he digs in, and I love how fast he rips into corners, and he's winning so many face-offs. He also just makes smart plays. There was an icing, and I think it was Game 2. There was a bunch of icings, and every single time he'd do like a fake-in where the ref would have to reset them, but he wouldn't get kicked out. And it's just like, oh, that just bought us like another 5 to 8 seconds.
I hate the fake drops that the refs do. Makes me so friggin' mad. Drop the puck. Just fucking drop it.
Just making a spectacle. Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, no.
Oh, you're out.
You're out of here now. Because you fell for my fake drops.
You flinched. You flinched. Like, it's not your show, buddy. Just drop the puck. But yeah, so I honestly think the Leafs can do it. I do think this series can go either way, and I still think it's going 7 games.
What do you think about Stolarz? Do you think he comes back?
If Woll plays like that again on Wednesday, I don't think he needs to.
Or like, do you think you put him in Game 7 if he's ready, just to change momentum?
Not depends where the win is, I guess.
Yeah.
Or it depends how healthy he is. Like, that head injury doesn't sound like it's no joke. If he's throwing up on the bench.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I guess it's up to them. But like, I don't know. Right now, I wouldn't put him in after that game that Woll had. But that's a fire game, and you're not gonna penalize like Woll for playing that well. No.
Yeah.
So I keep Woll in next game at least.
Oh,
and from there, it's
I think
game by game decision almost.
Game 5 and 6.
Yeah. But so I think it's going 7 easy, and I think this next game is going to be huge, and it's going to be intense to watch. It's going to be a game of the friggin' year.
I think Leafs win next game. Florida takes it Game 6 and comes back Toronto Game 7.
It'd be so nice if Leafs win at 6. Oh. So right now the betting odds are Florida winning in 6 is the cheapest odds. So that's like the most likely going to happen in the betting world.
Nah,
they think.
The betting.
I know. Why is everybody against? I don't understand why everybody's so high on this stupid Florida team.
Dude, every single game, Florida's been the favorite.
Yeah,
like, the Toronto team's first place team
and like by a lot too.
Yeah, like anyway, no respect, as Rodney Dangerfield said. No respect.
They seem to shove it up their hoop so hard.
I know.
It just makes me wish I was 6'4" and jacked and really good at hockey.
I know.
Because I'd try to go to the Leafs so hard.
Instead, it'll just be a fantasy for us.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, sorry for the late pod. Me and Jack have been super busy with our lives, and we're trying to put them out as much as we can. We want to do it like almost every 2 games, but it's been so hard trying to get a time where we can do it together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're doing this at like late at night just to try to get it out.
Yeah.
But if you're listening, thanks for listening to us. And for the week ahead and the game on Wednesday, and we'll try to get back to you guys as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But can you guys, for us, play hard and have fun?
Go Leafs, go. Go Leafs, go. Go Leafs, go. Go Leafs, go.